replacement heart of gold. I'm coming back to join the cast of Carmen. I never sung a single song before. I don't really care where I stand in the winner's circle. Make room for a man from the middle with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference to me. I don't understand what you're saying, only kinda listen. Make room for a man on a mission with you. I don't even know how I got to the finish, but don't care, don't make no difference.
We set the roof on fire. 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 We set the roof.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Mother Nature has decided to show up here, and rain is sure to have an impact on this game. Ball security will come into play, as both teams will have to deal with some very slippery conditions. It's the Beats going up against the Redskins. With that, let's get up to FedEx Field. On the call, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just inside the Beltway, about 10 miles east of the Capitol Dome as we come to you from FedEx Field here in Landover. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Brooklyn Beats and the Washington Redskins. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, we look at this Redskin team as they interplay here. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games. Meanwhile, for Brooklyn, our visitors, we're in November now, so this is where you really need to settle in, start getting down to business.
And in baseball, they talk about the dog days of August. November, these are the dog days of football, trying to get in position for the big push.
The shadows starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So out comes this offense to take over for the first time. And they are led out there by their mobile quarterback. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
The gun. They'll look to throw. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
So 2nd and 10 here.
Tight, watch left. Tight, watch left. No, check.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. Second down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a game. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a very successful play.
Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Well, partner, they might want to tear up their scouting reports a little bit here because they just broke tendency. 3rd down, you don't ordinarily see a toss. They ran it and they ran it. I love the way the edges were sealed, which allowed him to get to the corner.
All right, here we go. Blue lining. Blue lining.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And the return will be stopped at the 34-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts.
Check. Hang on now. Detroit.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And they still need 8 yards for the first here on 2nd down.
4 down. Hang on now. 3-19.
They'll set up to throw. Over the middle, it's complete. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard.
That was not a completion that results in a highlight video. But at the same time, if you have those kind of completions all game long, eventually one of them might turn into a highlight.
So still in search of the first down after that last completion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's got the first down yardage as he brings this up to the 47. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? Almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
Hey, we got tight left. Watch tight end. Key him. Key the tight end. Hang on now. Blue lining.
Back to throw. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now back to throw. And that is incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this 3rd down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
So on 4th down, the Redskins will call on Tress Way to punt it away. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted Spotted at the 14-yard line. Now this offense ready to take over again. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter one. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to work. They give them 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. They got the ball to the outer third of the field, but they could not seal that edge and lost yardage.
And I love how you brought that up because sealing the edge is often a function of the offensive tackle on the line of scrimmage, oftentimes a tight end, maybe your H-back, someone to set the edge at the line of scrimmage to give them a spot to get to. If you're not able to do that, you're not able to turn the corner. But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now.
No, that wasn't an explosive run. That wasn't one that took it all the way to the house. But, boy, for a team that's had trouble running it the entire game, that's the kind of run they need, hopefully, to get themselves kick-started.
The offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll try and throw for it here. This is caught. It's Cooks. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. The linebacker, Preston Brown, brings him down.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. And defensively, it's a nickel formation here on 3rd down and 9. Looking to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
No move to get the offense off the field. They're going on 4th and 5. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. They're going to try and throw. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. I don't know if I agree with that. I guess they don't care if I agree with that. But, boy, you have to be surprised by that, right?
I definitely was surprised that they decided to go for it in this situation. But they must have either felt like they either had a great play call on or they're trying to show extreme confidence.
Less than a minute to go here in a scoreless first quarter to this point. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Able to push forward for about 4 down to the 37.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So not much to speak of scoring-wise in this first quarter of play. Can't wait to see what the second quarter has in store. We'll head back to FedEx Field after this timeout.
The NFL on EA Sports is...
With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Brooklyn football as we get going in quarter number 2. And they're driving, but they come up on a 3rd and short here. Now they'll run it on the toss. And some room to maneuver. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
When big runs occur, sometimes there's a sense that things were pretty easy, and that one carried them down inside the 10. But getting into the end zone now, that won't be easy at all because you're going to face different defenses and not as much real estate to work with. Will they be able to run it, or will they have to throw it in order to try and score?
First down and goal to go from the 7. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that's going to bring up an interesting 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it. And they might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
The offense stays out there. A big challenge here from this far back, but they're going for it on 4th and goal. They'll need to get the play off quickly. They're going to look to throw. And it is incomplete. A disappointing drop there on 4th and goal. And the Redskins defense going to take over on the turnover on downs. A chance to get some momentum here in the second quarter, getting their first trip into the red zone, but unable to get it across.
And if I'm the head coach, sure, you feel some disappointment, maybe a little bit of deflation there because you didn't get it in. But I'm going straight to rah-rah mode. All right, guys, we didn't get it this time. It's only the second quarter. We'll be back. Let's get it later on. I want to keep this team up. I want them to feel like they've let everyone down.
Positive.
Got to be positive in this situation. It's too early to think that you don't have a chance to win this game. Love the call by the offensive coordinator, recognizing the situation very well, calling for the play-action pass, and completing it.
Now a handoff here to his running back. They find some open field here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I love when a play results in a game that I can actually kind of fall back on one of my favorite adages, and that is anytime there's a run over 10 yards, it means that the offensive line did its job, but you know who else did? The wide receivers. Because the first 7 yards kind of belong to the offensive line and the running back. Anything after that means the wide receivers did a great job of blocking downfield, being willing to mix it up, and give them some more space to gain additional yardage.
And when you're running the football, one thing you don't want to see is a big boy coming up there to swallow you whole in those D tackles and nose tackles.
No, you're actually counting on your big boys to protect you from them. But on that play, the defensive tackle had the leverage, and he won the battle. No gain, correct?
No gain.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. That second down run a big help. The 7 yards leaves them with just a 3rd and 3 now.
Well, there's an example of patience being rewarded. Ran the ball on first down and got stuffed. Most people would scream, throw the ball here in this situation. They stayed with their roots, stayed with running the football, and they got rewarded.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he's got enough for the first across midfield to the 48. We heard them talk before the game about utilizing the intermediate passing game this week. It works for them there. They move the chains.
And we saw them work on it in practice as well, and most teams take a period at a time to work on different things. They put a couple of periods of work into the intermediate passing game, and now we know exactly why. They got the look that they were seeking, and they were able to take advantage of it. One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. But there's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
They come out here in the eye. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he fights his way into the end zone for a Redskin touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to strike for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. We focus our attention on the Redskins defense now. And last time, no points surrendered, almost. I mean, the ball was in the red zone. Bottom line, though, they got the stop. They'll be looking to do that once more.
And you know they trotted back out there with energy, because after you get a 4th down stop and give up no points in a situation where you expect to give up something, you feel so good about yourself and the guy playing next to you as well. That leads you to playing pretty well the rest of the game.
Yeah, we'll see if they can play well again here and get another stop. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. 3-19. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he's got his man on the out route. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And that'll give him a 1st down.
That was a nice completion on an out route, and those types of plays are the result of arm strength by the quarterback and timing by the receiver.
fresh set of downs here. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play there. Second down.
But he was stopped on that play. But he's had plenty of carries all afternoon. Every now and then the defense is going to win one, but I don't think they'll shy away from handing it to him the rest of the game.
He's going to let this one go deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
I like the boldness, and I like that they took a shot downfield, but it was well covered, and he's able to get a hand in and knock it away.
Offense trying to avoid stalling out, facing a 3rd and 10. One receiver left, 3 to the right. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. And this is taken in at the 5. Touchdown! Their dangerous wide receiver. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys are an extra point away from tying this thing up. And he showcased his blazing speed on that one.
Was he wearing football cleats or track spikes? Because he was gone. Big-time play. And just think about what that does if you're a receiver on the team with him. Well, that's got to open things up for you as well, because if I'm a defense, I've got to get back deeper and deeper in order to keep him in front. But I'm not sure how many can actually keep him in front with that speed.
And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll get in. And they take an 8-7 lead. Well, they got down 7-zip. They said, we'll go for 2, one up you, and they take the lead.
How about that for a little risk-reward, right? If you don't get it, you're only down a point. Let's go ahead and make a statement in this ball game, and that's exactly what they did.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
Free kick out of bounds. Kicking team.
And this kick goes out of bounds, and that's obviously why the flag comes out here.
And now you can see the defense greeting the kicker as they go out to play. The starting field position for the offense is excellent, puts a lot more pressure on the defensive guys.
Yeah, and if the kicker thinks he's lonesome, he's really lonesome after a play like this.
Yeah, he better hope that he's lonesome, because who's ever standing next to him is probably on the defensive side, and they're none too happy.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete.
Holding. Offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down, if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
Now back to throw. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry.
In recent years, the slot receivers really gained stature in the NFL because they can do so many things. Yes, they can line up wide like your normal wide receiver, but to have that kind of courage and toughness to run routes in the middle of the field and become dependable targets for their quarterbacks and move the sticks, those guys are worth their weight in gold.
So they complete the pass, and now they face a 2nd down. They'll come out in the pistol. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. They'll look to throw now on first down. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Back to throw now on first down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he showcases the spin. A pretty good gain before he's taken down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Three yards to go on second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it first and goal.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
His pass caught at the 4. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And here comes play number 6 on this drive.
Here we go. 3-19.
Second and goal from the 2-yard line. They'll give it to him right up the gut. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So the offense takes the timeout, and they are back out and ready to rock. Line of scrimmage at the 4. Here's third and goal. They're going to look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Partner, how many times have you heard it? Pressure creates diamonds, right? But it also bursts pipes. And on that one, that's what they got. They got after him, and he was fortunate just to get rid of it.
Yeah, he just had to chuck it away. And his kick is indeed good. And they stake claim to the lead here. It's 10-8. So give them 3 there. A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they couldn't punch it in.
And credit this defense, too. That was the old bend but don't break approach. But it kept the offense out of the end zone.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's had a solid start to this game, but bottom line is they're losing, so he doesn't care about his stats. He just wants to right the ship on the scoreboard.
He wants to actually increase his stats because he feels like if he does, that means things will get better for his team, maybe get them back into the ball game or into the lead. In these situations, I remember playing with a quarterback once where he actually ran out onto the field first ahead of everyone else just to say, guys, let's go. Try and create that energy, create that spark.
So far, he has 1 touchdown, 1 interception. He'll be looking for that second touchdown now. And he finds a man with a crossing route. 12 yards there as they move the chains. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He sets to fire deep. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit, Ball pops out, incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10, and he comes back with one complete. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. So we're back in the offense getting set following the call of that timeout. And 3 full yards here for the offense to get on 3rd down. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. He'll look to throw. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And that is incomplete. Down to 15 seconds now.
Well, they went for the big play there, but that drop could really hurt their momentum.
They'll break the huddle here and go for it. This is 4th down. They're going to try and throw. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He's going to rifle one. This is caught inside the 15. And touchdown. A big play there in the final seconds of the first half. And his guys are going to retake the lead.
Well, someone has a sense of the dramatic here, don't they? Scoring this late in the half to take the lead going into the locker room.
Now they just don't want to misstep misfortune on the next kickoff because there's still a little bit of time left on that clock.
Yeah, you do have to bring that up, don't you? In the NFL, every play is critical. And if you give up something cheap there, all that advantage they just gained goes right out the window.
And they will line up now for the 2-point try. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone. So they get 2 more on the board here just before halftime. So 2 successful 2-point tries now for them.
And you know what it does? It gives you a boost, a huge one for your team because, hey, you're dominating them now. They can't stop you either scoring touchdowns or 2-point conversions. But how about the defense? You don't know what to do at this stage. You can't stop them in any direction.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. The Redskins are on the bad end of things at home, but will have 2 quarters to turn it around. The Beats deserve to be ahead, but will need to put together another strong half. So here we go. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now 1st and 10, the long ball will find its mark here, and that's a house call. They go ahead by 1. We move late into the second. The pass is completed into tight coverage, and that goes as a 47-yard touchdown. They go up by 6. So that'll do it from here in Orlando. Let's get back up to our nation's capital as we rejoin Brandon Guy.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be fielded at the 8. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
And they're just a couple of yards shy of a 1st down here on 3rd down. They come up in an offset eye. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a running down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the 1st down.
They'll look to throw here. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. 10 yards on the pickup there. And that leads to a Washington 1st down.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him.
A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Now let's go! Green 39! Green 39!
They'll look to throw now on 1st down. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Completed pass play. Now let's see if they go back to the air or to the ground. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Zadarius Smith able to get him down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. They'll look to throw for it on 3rd and 1. And incomplete. He had nowhere to throw, so he just tossed it away. But that brings up 4th.
On 3rd and 1, I think everyone in the stadium thought they'd try and run the football there, but they tried to surprise the defense and hit something through the air. Instead, it results in an incompletion.
So out comes the field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. He hit his first one, this from 44 yards out now. And his kick is good. And the lead is back down to 3 here at 16-13. So the scoring drive encompasses 9 plays, but the net gain, 3 points.
And you're going to have drives like that in this league. Sometimes you just got to take the 3 and move on. Always better than nothing.
So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They may have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Green, 39. Green, Leopard. Leopard. Now let's go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Leopard. Leopard. No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
Partner, that defensive win reminds me of something a coach of mine used to say all the time. If you really want it, you'll find a way to go get it. And the defense did exactly that.
1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown! Their dangerous wide receiver, 79 yards. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. So they're going to go for 2. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will get into the end zone. So the lead stretches from 9 up to 11. They get the conversion. And, Charles, when you only have 2 yards to go, what do you think of the toss play? Because initially it kind of sets you back a little bit.
It does, especially if you get a lot of pressure coming towards you. But if you can get to the edge, if you seal the edge with your blocking, often your tackle or your tight end on what they call the play side where the ball goes, you can get to the corner, and that allows those big guys to get out ahead of the runner.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded at the 8. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now. Field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain. Second down following the run.
4 down. All right, here we go. Blue landed. Blue landed.
They'll set up a throw. On the catch, it's Crowder. Give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Green 39. Green 39.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
With the struggles we're seeing up front for the offense today, they've got to think about changing up their play calling. Some screens, some draws, some quick-hitting plays in order to try and supplement the run game. You don't totally abandon it, but you try and give it a little bit of help.
So now 11 yards to go for this offensive unit. It's second down.
Everyone's got four down. All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. This one caught by Crowder. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Third and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he's able to find Diggs. Touchdown, Washington. Stephon Diggs, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game.
As a fan, is there anything prettier than a well-executed post route?
No, it's a thing of beauty, especially when it's done like that for a touchdown.
The throw, the catch, and how about the run after to get it to the end zone? Well, they couldn't be happy that they were having to stop a 2-point conversion because that means they gave up a touchdown. But a little solace there. You saw some good gang tackling, stacking him up before he can get to the end zone.
We talk about offensive units putting in more 2-point period sessions in practice. Defensively, do you do the same?
Absolutely. You have to because you never know how aggressive these offenses are going to be in games nowadays.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he powers his way up past the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to air one out. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
He'll look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down.
Let's go.
Now they'll run it on the toss. It'll be a 3-yard gain, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches.
Wow, that one took some guts. If this doesn't work, you're handing them incredible field position, but this head coach is undaunted, and he makes the call to go for it, and I'll be darned if they don't get the first down.
So they pick up the first down after the run, and now they approach for the fresh set. 1 receiver left, 3 to the right. Time running out here on the play clock. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
In my book, that's running the ball well, but with intelligence. How about him keeping the clock moving, staying in bounds?
Yeah, even though it's the third quarter, you're thinking ahead, aren't you? This is where your running game can really help you with a lead in the second half.
I agree totally. It's not just end-of-the-half situations that you worry about the clock. It's throughout the game. And with a lead, stay in bounds. Make them fight harder to try and catch you.
Final minute now of the third quarter. Play clock winding down. Now they'll run it on the toss. Room here to run. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Really good, skillful, tough running throughout this contest. Picked up first down after first down. He's got to have a nickname, doesn't he? How about the human first down machine? I think that fits.
So the offense has it 1st and 10. The play clock's running down.
Let's go!
Now they'll run it on the toss. And some space here. And he's going to go out of bounds, taking it down inside the 25. They'll get 17 yards there. And it's good enough for a first down.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. We have played 3 quarters. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now at FedEx Field as we've got the final quarter upon us. We get ready to start the 4th. Now they'll run it on the toss. And a short gain here down to the 22. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. And in this situation with a lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
It's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
See if they stay on the ground for 2nd down.
Detroit! Detroit! Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8.
And that's one of the few times they've been able to contain him. He's had a heck of a game, and maybe he's getting a little bit tired from how many times he's carried the ball. But I always think back to what all those old coaches say. The ball's not that heavy. Keep carrying it, kid.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8. They'll put 2 receivers left, 2 to the right.
Green, 39!
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. And no move to get the offense off the field. They'll stay put on 4th and 1. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will take this one in for a touchdown. A great play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. Well, they ran the toss, trusting he had the speed to get to the edge, and he did.
And there really wasn't any doubt about that because the scouting report told you that this guy could flat out run. When you give him a little bit of space and a chance to get there, he usually does.
And they'll get set here looking for the 2-point conversion. on the toss. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. Needed a couple yards for the two-point try. They go to the ground game, and it works.
And sometimes it's the exact right thing to do because a lot of teams play you for the pass. So you spread people out, decide to run the football. You often find good running lanes.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great...
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Yeah, they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver and almost on a direct shot able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
Green 39! Green 39! Here we go!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down. 14 yards that time for number 14. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he will find his man on the outside. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Second and very short here, less than a yard. Again, we'll see the pistol here. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Crowder's got it over the middle. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Back to throw now on first down. He's got time. Going to throw right side here, complete. A gain of 6 there on first.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the balls we just saw there.
Second down now after the pass completion. Back to throw again. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. A 5-yard gain, and now they're set up 1st and goal.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
To throw here on first down. This will be caught at about the 5. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
And now it's second and goal. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Washington. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Redskins are able to make this a close game again. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
So here comes the kickoff, and what now is just a one-score, 6-point game. This one taken from the 7. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And now back out comes the offense. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains. And the offense here just looking to stay in bounds, complete the short passes, and put this game on ice. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, let me pump out my chest a little bit, even though I'm not rooting for either team. That was a really nice defensive play. It's awfully fun to watch, even in an offensive game.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's our visitors with the football as we get you reset. They've got a second down now as they search for a way to get this one to the finish line. And the offense behind the chains here a touch on 2nd and 11. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose you. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. go for the offense here on third down. One receiver left, three to the right. Out of the gun now on third down. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's Colton Schmidt now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. Time for this defense now to get back on the field. And they're just trying to keep him out of the end zone. Obviously, a field goal does no good in this situation. So what's the appropriate amount of pressure defensively, Charles?
I think he's had a little more pressure than what is normal. If you normally want to send a 3-man rush, maybe you make it 4. If it's 4, maybe you make it 5. Anything to make sure that he can't just sit back there all day and find a target. And then you tell your secondary, play your normal coverage, and maybe an extra step or two back.
Yeah, be careful that nothing goes over the top. He'll look to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. That'll leave him with just one remaining in this fourth quarter of play. So a big sack on second down. Now let's see what the offense has in store for third. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side. They'll look to throw. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. So down 6, and they know they need this one on fourth down. Back to throw. Surveying the field. Look at the time. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. So a risky move that does not pay off. And, Charles, you take it from the defensive perspective. They had to be a little offended there that they even tried to go for it back inside their own 20.
Highly offended. And they took the ball away and gave it to their offense in a great situation. But when you look at this thing in total, when you start taking chances like that, you know what that means? You're going to have to take more chances later, right? When you don't convert, that just means you got to double down on it. So we can see this thing pile up as we go on.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their third and final stoppage here as we step aside. Offense looking to avoid a 3rd and long. It's 2nd and 10. They come up in an offset eye. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's across for the touchdown. And in the final minute, that should just about seal it.
And that touchdown should make you feel comfortable But do you really feel like it's totally over yet?
Not totally, but I think you're pretty much there.
Yeah, you've still got to make sure you stay with it, do all the right things down the stretch, especially on defense. But that touchdown there, you've got to feel good about your chances.
And they will line up now for the two-point try. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he is into the end zone again as he scores both the touchdown and the two-point conversion to extend this lead. So they kept it on the ground, got it into the end zone. But, Charles, sometimes you probably see teams treat a two-point conversion differently than if it was first and goal from the two, or I should say third and goal from the two.
I agree with you totally on that. A lot of teams treat it as if they have farther to go and shy away from running the football. I think this is a great spot to do it because most teams play you for the pass. Go ahead and run and let your linemen surge and fire out.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do and the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the ball.
Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. That one will set him back nearly 10 yards here on first down on the sack. And now they're in the hurry-up. And the spike comes now with just under 40 ticks left. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He's got time in the pocket. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
And you just know when that play call came in, their eyes lit up because anytime you get a chance to take a big shot downfield, that's a lot of fun, and they missed an opportunity.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that one.
They're down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. The clock cannot be stopped here. Defense can't do anything. So kneel it down, take it home.
No doubt about it. It's what you practice for in winning situations each and every week. Victory formation. Take a knee and go on into the locker room and celebrate.
Call it a victory. And a great spot to start this drive from here. Now they'll run it on the toss. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. And now it looks like they're going to be in the hurry-up. Now they'll run it on the toss. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it leads to a 1st and goal. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over. We'll see what they come up with here on this next play. And we're hitting the end of this one, and it looks to probably be the final play. They come up in an offset eye. So now it's 1st and goal. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams